Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. With me, your host Owen, your only place to go for daily Rangers news, daily Rangers updates, and podcast and live streams. And guys, you know what we charge for it? We charge you absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch, there's nothing. It's free, guys. Talk about the club that we all love for nothing. This is a fan-driven channel run by myself and Victoria Searle, both Rangers fans, talking to you, the Rangers fan. And we wanted to get you involved in the channel by commenting on it. We'll have post-game shows coming up, Q&As, all stuff designed to get you, the Rangers fan, involved in this channel. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed Victoria's video last night. If you haven't yet checked it out, go back and check it out. Victoria introducing herself to the channel. She is my partner on this channel. Fantastic. She is absolutely superb to work with. Anyway, guys, let's talk about some latest Rangers news. Obviously, the international break is ongoing, so there is no match day news to talk about, no Rangers result to reflect upon, no victory to reflect upon, and obviously the league situation stays pretty much as it was. Congratulations, obviously, goes to Scotland today, who beat Cyprus 3-0 at Hampden Park. Unfortunately, the Hampden Park pitch did seem to be cutting up yet again. Not good, obviously, with the semi-final in mind on April the 30th, especially as obviously the Rangers-Celtic game will be the second semi-final to be played on that pitch, and it could well be a mud swamp by the time we come to play on that Hampden pitch. Not a great pitch, as we know. Guys, we've got lots of news in this Rangers latest news video update. We're going to talk about Billy Gilmour, former Ranger. We're going to talk about Mr. Injury Prone himself, Mr. Glass, Mr. Kamar Roofe. We're going to talk about the Legends game on Sunday, and we're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, our ex-manager, Steven Gerrard, and how he is still upsetting Celtic fans. In fact, let's start with Stevie G. Then we'll talk about Billy Gilmour. After that, we will get on to talk about Mr. Glass himself, Kamar Roofe, and the injury update that's come out today about him. And then finally finish off, obviously, with the Legends game, which is happening tomorrow at Ibrox. Fantastic. Enjoy the day if you are going along. Well, our ex-manager Steven Gerrard has been up to it again and has been upsetting Celtic fans yet again. Obviously, he upset them greatly during title season 55 when he helped Rangers to win the league, something that obviously upset the other half of Glasgow. Well, during a Liverpool Celtic Legends game today, Steven Gerrard scored against the green and white shower. As you can see him there, he started to celebrate in front of the Celtic fans, giving it a big 5-0 to obviously I think the final result was 2-0, but you know what I mean, giving it the big yin. Now, obviously, this did not go down with Celtic fans. Not only, obviously, did it mean that Gerrard had scored against their Legends team, saying the likes of Mikael Lustig and Stilian Petrov, but also it was the ex-Rangers manager himself who was captaining the Liverpool Legends team who scored against them. And yes, you guessed it, the great unwashed, soap-dodging scumbags from the other side of Glasgow started hurling missiles at him. Guys, it's a Legends game. It's a friendly game. Only they could descend to this scummy level of throwing missiles onto the pitch during a friendly game. Yes, they were seen, and there is video on the internet to prove this, of those dirty green and white scumbags throwing missiles at Steven Gerrard, who celebrated scoring a goal for obviously his boyhood team at Liverpool in a Legends game. You know, no matter what you say, you score a goal for your boyhood team, no matter whether it's for in a league game, a Champions League game, or whether it's in a Legends game, in a friendly or a testimonial. It means everything to you, doesn't it? To pull on that shirt, to score at your home ground, wearing that shirt. And again, it just shows how classless Celtic fans really are. But well done, Stevie G. Great goal, great celebration. The blue side of Glasgow applauds you and tells you, Stephen, no surrender to those green and white scum. Anyway, let's talk next about Billy Gilmour. Yes, Billy Gilmour, obviously, who came through the youth system at Rangers, but was obviously taken down south once the transfer fee and the promise of more money came on board. Now, obviously, he was, as you are all aware, Gilmour left Glasgow Rangers and joined Chelsea. He had limited effect at Chelsea and then went on loan to Norwich before obviously then joining Brighton and Hove Albion this season in the Premier League. Gilmour in total during his time down south has made 11 appearances for Chelsea. Then in 21-22, he made 24 appearances whilst on loan at Norwich whilst they were in the Premier League. He was then transferred to Brighton from Chelsea. I think with the hope that Billy would then go on to obviously play more Premier League minutes, to have more Premier League outings for Brighton, as Brighton sought to remain, that's the right word, in the Premier League. And they're having a good season, aren't they? Now, Gilmour has seen his first team opportunities severely limited this season to only 7 appearances for the Albion. So there's been rumours that Rangers could be interested in going in for Gilmour. Certainly sort of information put up by ex-players and obviously a few websites to do with Glasgow Rangers, saying that it's the perfect place for Gilmour to carry on his career, for him to resurrect his career, for him to get first team football would be for him to return to Glasgow Rangers. Now, this would be a fantastic move for the club if we could get Gilmour back. You know, he's skillful, great passer of the ball, superb midfielder. It'd be great to have Gilmour back. However, there are, of course, some stumbling blocks around this potential return for Gilmour. Number 1 being the transfer fee, and number 2 being the wages. It's estimated that Gilmour is worth anything from £5 to £8 million at present Premier League valuation levels. And we all know that once a player plays in the Premier League and plays down south, their value automatically becomes overinflated. However, some people have not ruled out possibility of Rangers seeking to get a loan move for Gilmour and allowing Gilmour to gain first team minutes in the team at Ibrox, with then a potential loan to buy, like they did with Malik Tillman. The other thing, obviously, that could fall down is wages. Now, whether Rangers could match the wages he has been paid in the Premier League is another thing. The Premier League, obviously, is a wash with money. The television deal down there, and obviously the fact that each club receives 70, 80, 90, 100 million pounds a season, obviously enables them to spend big wages and big transfer fees, as well as obviously the television money they get in, the prize money they get in, the onward marketing and merchandising value from overseas. So they were able to pay a lot bigger wages than teams in the SPL. So that could be another stumbling block if a move was to be made for Gilmour. Personally, I think it's unlikely that it would happen, but would I like to see it? Yeah, of course, I'd love to see Billy Gilmour return home. Yes, I'd love to see him in the blue of Rangers. I'd love to see him running out at Ibrox, and I think he could have a huge impact for the club in the SPL next season and really could torment those dirty green and white, unwashed, soap-dodging so-and-sos from across the city. So, yeah, I'll be obviously in favour of going for Gilmour, but hey, it's pie in the sky at the moment, but it's certainly worth a think, and maybe something the clubs, Ross Wilson and Michael Beale, are considering, given obviously the rumours coming out in multiple sources at this moment in time. Okay, so let's move on now to talk about Mr. Injury Prone himself, Mr. Glass himself, Mr. Kamar Roofe. Obviously now there's no doubting Roofe's ability. Kamar is a great striker. He's a goal scorer. You know, he's proved that in England. He's proved that in Scotland. He has the talent. He has the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. He is an exceptionally talented player. However, he just cannot stay fit. He's made just 6 appearances for Rangers this season. None of those been starts, and none of those appearances lasting any longer than 45 minutes. He's obviously now had to undergo a surgery on a hip injury. Obviously, I think it's an arm injury he must have there. But let's face it, there's not a part of the body that Kamar has not injured in his time at Rangers. Now, like I said, there's no doubting Kamar's abilities and Kamar's talent. And, you know, probably on reflection and looking at him, he probably is the most talented striker at the club. He probably is the most natural striker at the club too. You know, in 48 appearances for Rangers, he has scored 25 goals, a better than 1 in 2 record. And no matter where he's been, he has scored goals. However, he just cannot stay fit and is obviously now 30 years of age. It's been reported that after his hip surgery went well and he could return before pre-season. The earliest, however, that he has been destined for a return is May at the very, very earliest. And that would be a return to training, not to ability to play matches. Obviously, the season will be over. So, by the time that Kamar Roofe does regain match fitness. But obviously, this is a sort of a push that he could be fit for next season. However, many people feel that now it is time to cut our losses on Roofe and allow him to leave at the end of the season. But obviously the concern is there, would anybody want to come in and pay for Roofe given his injury history? It's highly doubtful. It's more likely the Raiders will be stuck with him on their books until his contract winds down and runs out. If this is the case, the hope has to be obviously that Roofe we can somehow, some miracle can occur where we can keep him fit. A fit Kamar Roofe would be a good option for Rangers and certainly would score goals in the Premier League and certainly help us to put pressure on Celtic. So here's hoping that a miracle could happen and Kamar Roofe could suddenly develop a bit of steel to his body and not get injured as much. But certainly an interesting development on the injury that he will be available before pre-season to resume training. Obviously, after that news of the Legends match at Anfield today between Celtic and Liverpool, even news obviously turns now to the Legends game that is taking place at Ibrox tomorrow. Obviously, this game is televised on Rangers TV for £5.99 if you want to pay the money to watch the game. Rangers legends of the past: Chris Boyd, Sasa Papac, Pedro Mendes. A number of very talented players. The team captained by Barry Ferguson, of course. There's one or two players in that Legends team that you would kind of loosely use the word legend around, Bruno Alves, for example. But at the end of the day, it's certainly a good watch. It's Rangers football. If you're obviously missing the team, missing the Rangers football, missing Ibrox, it will be an opportunity obviously to go along, buy a ticket if you can, if you live in the city or the surrounding area or want to travel, or like I said, pay to watch it on Rangers TV against a team that will boast some pretty fine talents. The likes obviously of Petit and Carnu and Jaap Stam, for example, obviously are all playing for that World 11. So definitely an interesting game, something to look forward to tomorrow if you are going along. If you are going along, have a great time. If you choose to watch on Rangers TV as well, and it might be a decent watch on a Sunday afternoon. So guys, obviously that Legends game will be something worth watching, and it is, like I said, it will be seeing Rangers, so that is obviously something definitely worth looking at. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about all the news in this Rangers latest news update, the Gilmour news, the Roofe news, the Gerrard news, all those bits and pieces that I've talked to you about in this little news update from Glasgow Rangers Nation. Remember, the only way you can keep up to date with all the latest news, views, updates, podcasts, live streams, and so much more from Glasgow Rangers Nation is by hitting the sub and ringing the notification bell. Guys, that's the only way to do it. Do it, and it's completely free. Thanks for watching. Victoria and I will be back very soon to speak to you here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. We've got 2 podcasts planned for next week with guests, both led by myself and Victoria. We're looking forward to working with Victoria again. Absolute superstar that she is. Guys, remember, no surrender. We are the people. And guys, keep checking back on Glasgow Rangers Nation.